The city of El Paso, Texas, has seen thousands of migrants making their way across the U.S. Mexico border in recent days. The numbers are expected to rise as a policy used to expel migrants during the pandemic, known as Title 42, is set to expire next week. Nancy Cordes reports.
The numbers have startled even longtime activists. 2,400 migrants attempting to cross the border near El Paso on Sunday alone. Overwhelmed, the Border Patrol has been busing refugees to Blake Barrow's homeless shelter in El Paso by the hundreds.
We had to resort to turning people away. There was no place else to put them. But if they come in with an infant, then we find some space somewhere.
On the floor if you have to.
Well, sure.
Even before this influx, encounters at the southern border were smashing records this year. Those numbers are expected to spike even higher starting in just over a week when the order known as Title 42 expires. Designed to stem the spread of COVID-19, Title 42 has allowed authorities to turn back migrants for the past 33 months.
How concerned is the administration that there will be this unprecedented surge of migrants try to come across the border once Title 42 goes away?
We have given the Department of Homeland Security historic funding to deal with this very issue.
The Secretary of Homeland Security was on the border today, even as a group of Republicans vowed to impeach him once they control the House next year.
He has failed to secure our border and has thus endangered Americans.
This October alone, more than 230,000 migrants arrived at the U.S. southern border, and DHS projects that number could more than double to over 500,000 a month after Title 42 expires next Wednesday. John?
Nancy Cordes at the White House, thank you. For more on this, let's bring in CBS News immigration reporter Camilo Montoya-Galvez. Camilo, so we've been, as we just saw, El Paso, Texas, seeing a sharp increase. The migrant arrivals from Nicaragua, what is happening, and are they claiming asylum, this new influx of Nicaraguan migrants?
Hi, John. It's unclear why we're seeing this sudden sharp increase in illegal crossings by Nicaraguans near El Paso, but we do know that a large caravans, mostly of Nicaraguans, arrived near this Texas border city over the weekend. We also know that, like many migrants from far-flung countries, migrants from Nicaragua do not face expulsion to Mexico under the Title 42 pandemic restrictions that are set to end next week. That is because Mexico generally, John, only accepts migrants from Mexico and citizens of Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and more recently, Venezuela. It does not generally accept Nicaraguans expelled by the U.S. So Nicaraguans are generally released into the U.S. and allowed to stay here, John, pending the resolution of their asylum cases. And we know that smugglers often exploit inconsistencies in U.S. immigration and border policy. After all, this is a highly profitable business for these smugglers, John.
And so let's talk about Title 42 now, because you have this, is there any relationship between the ending of Title 42 and this influx of Nicaraguans is kind of the first question. And then what will happen for Title 42 if Title 42 disappears when it's supposed to on the 21st of December?
Sure. So there could be a link or a connection between the potential end of Title 42 next week on December 21st and this sharp increase in the arrival of Nicaraguan migrants near the Texas border city of El Paso. And that's because the Department of Homeland Security, John, has been warning that smugglers will try to use this potential policy shift to smuggle more migrants to mislead them and to spread mis- and disinformation about U.S. enforcement policy, telling migrants that it's easier to cross the border now, that they will be able to stay. Obviously, sometimes that is true, John, what smugglers are telling migrants, but it depends again on the migrants' nationality, their age, the sector where they cross. So that is something that the department has been very concerned about. To tackle your second question, once Title 42 ends, if it indeed ends on December 21st, all migrants will be processed under U.S. immigration law, which does allow them to request asylum as a way to stop their deportation. That is enshrined in U.S. law. We're supposed to screen people who say that they fear persecution or torture in their home countries if they are deported. But we know that asylum processing right now is very backlogged and broken because we have hundreds of thousands of pending cases and not enough asylum officers and judges to adjudicate these claims. The administration will be able to quickly deport some migrants who do not ask for asylum or who don't establish credible fear of persecution, John, under a process known as expedited removal that dates back to the 1990s. But because of the same reasons that not all migrants are expelled under Title 42, the U.S. will not be able to expel migrants from Venezuela, Cuba, and Nicaragua under this expedited removal process because these countries, again, generally limit U.S. deportations of their nationals or outright reject them. So that is very important to note. Some migrants will still be released into the U.S. or detained by U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement.
So because of the behavior of those countries and rejecting anybody the U.S. would want to send back, effectively that makes those migrants, or it treats those migrants as if they were asylum seekers in the sense that they leave them in the United States. Do I have that right?
Correct. In many cases, the only reason that some migrants are allowed to stay here and not summarily expelled to Mexico without a chance to seek asylum is because of their home country, right, and because of the fact that their home country does not accept their repatriation, their deportation.
All right. Camilo Montoya-Galvez, thank you so much, as always, for walking us through that.
Thank you, John.